In the last video, we focused on helping Rosa feel safe and start to trust me. And now we're taking the next step, beginning her halter training. This stage is about the little things. Every flick of her tail, every shift of her head or her body, how high or low her head is. All of these tell me what she's feeling in the moment. As you watch, pay attention to all the little small details. You'll see how slow and subtle this process really is and how much those quiet moments matter. There is also a new variable now, Dan. Up to this point, Rose has only learned to trust me, but now she's learning that not just one person can be safe. And you'll start to see her true personality coming through, curious, playful, and a little bit silly. Now, Rosa here, you can see she's more comfortable with us on her right side and less comfortable with us on her left side, which is so opposite of what it normally is. So often animals are more comfortable with you being on their left side because that's where you do everything. Well, these guys are wild. They haven't had things done with them yet. They're just simply getting used to people. And she has a strong preference for us to be on her right side. Now, she'll get over that with more time of working with her on both sides. But in the future, we might need to be doing a little lopsided with the amount of time that's spent on her left side until she gets comfortable. Now, you see how each interaction, each touch that Dan does is short. And then retreating. You don't always have to walk away when you retreat. When you very first start, you can walk to the other end of the pen and really give them a big break. But just like the pay is weaned out later on, so is the amount of walking away you need to do. You see how she's approaching him? She's liking the attention now. Now Dan's helping here, and his approach is a little different than mine. He's more like, you're gonna be fine. Let's just do it. While I tend to wait till the donkey says they're ready. Both styles have their place. I'd love to hear which approach do you think your donkey would respond better to. Remember, before we can ask for cooperation from her, we need to establish that connection. Her following, she's curious enough about us that she's starting to follow. That is a huge sign that you're on the right track with connection. Here you'll notice that she's stepping backwards. That's just a sign of nervousness. So Dan's going to try to match steps with her and then give her a break. Now it's time to introduce the halter. Do you see how she's looking at Dan? That's curiosity. That little step towards him, that's curiosity. Those little things all mean something. And before I started gentling wild donkeys, I never thought about those little things at all. They didn't mean anything to me. But now I see all of that. Do you see how she's leaning away from a little bit right there? Her legs, her whole body is at a little bit of an angle away. All of this stuff means something. It doesn't mean stop, but be aware. There, she's getting a break and pay. We're trying to make this all a good experience for her. She's still getting used to touch. There, she's still leaning away from Dan. So be aware. Don't spend too much time on things. There, he's just a hair at a time getting farther up her face. But later on, you're going to notice that they're not leaning away from you, or even better yet, they're leaning in towards you. That step away, that was nervousness. You don't have to worry about that stuff, but just know to give them breaks. And when you give them a break for being nervous, that is not saying, oh, good job, you were scared. It's saying, oh, I see that you're a little bit nervous. Let me help make this a good experience for you. That's what it always comes down to, is making a good experience for them. We want them to want to be with us. We want them to have enough confidence in us that they're willing to follow us. So breaking everything down, little by little. Oop, that was too scary. Swishing of the tail. But look at how she's coming back to him already. Now, if she was really nervous, she might go stand in the corner for 10 minutes. But building up that curiosity and having pay for her, it gives her a little extra incentive to work. Donkeys need to have a reason to do what they're going to do. They're not going to do something mindlessly, whether it's walking in circles or putting on a halter that they say no purpose for at all. Everything we're doing here to build up trust, even before we're really very close to putting the halter on, is going to help us when we start the other parts of her gentling and training. Teaching her to wear the halter, teaching her to lead, pick up her feet, and load into the trailer. A certain amount of trust is needed for her to follow us with any of that. Now keep watching as we progress through the halter training. You're going to want to notice at one point she's going to get really nervous and she's going to take off and run. But pay attention to what we do when she does take off and run, or what Dan does when she takes off to run, because she's afraid. Remember, we're still building up confidence. Now he's getting her used to putting her nose in that and having the rope above her nose. All of this stuff is very intimidating. Notice the movements are all very calm. They're very slow right now. We can be a spaz later on, but right now, if we're a spaz, she's gonna shut down. With donkeys, that's their go-to response, is to shut down, and once they shut down, you're done. Backing up, she's a little bit nervous. So just play with it. Have fun with it. Be silly with them. They do like silly. They like laughter. But right now, any quick movements or loud noises or quick noises are going to make them nervous. Walking away, giving them time to process, is a huge part of this. Her willingness to come back towards Dan is huge in this step of this stage of her training and gentling.
Let's work on this some more.
Next, he's going to prepare her for putting that lead rope around her neck, and he'll be able to grab it underneath. And you can see she gets nervous. That's okay. You can just kind of ignore it. There she runs off because she's afraid, but she comes right back because there is the beginning of trust built in.
Let's show Mom how brave you are. Yeah. You see that?
There's no sense trying to tie the halter on at this stage. They're still nervous. We want to know. We want to be confident that they're going to stand there to allow us to tie it before we're ever trying to tie it.
Nose. Could have tied it.
Now that she's accepting the halter, we're going to start introducing leading to her. Good girl. That's a good girl. Right now I'm in a 24 by 24 pen, and I highly recommend that size when you first introduce leading. Sometimes they'll get nervous about the pressure and they'll want to move fast. I don't want them to get away and teach them that they can get away. If they do get away, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to do my best not to let it happen again to set them up for success. Notice at this stage, I put the lead rope on separate from the halter. And I like to be in a smallish pen to help her not be able to get away. You guys are all trouble. Trouble. It's a lot of donkeys. What are you doing? Are you eating my shirt? Okay. Now we're going to work with introducing leading to her, and it's going to start just with the slightest movements. I'll show you what that looks like. When I approach her, she starts to lean away and I just pause. When I pause, then she starts to come back towards me. I'm creating curiosity. If you've been following Rosa's story, what part of her progress stands out the most to you so far? Drop a comment. I love hearing what you all notice as she changes. Notice when she gives how I push my arm forward. I want to give her back more than what she gave me, creating a lot of slack in that lead rope. This is a lot of repetitive. You see there, she's taking a step towards me. That's a big win. The better we can get our timing, the quicker they will understand. This is something we're always working on, even myself. Here she starts to go away from me, and as soon as she gives her head towards me a little bit, I give her a lot of slack in that lead rope. And now she's taking steps back and towards me. Rosa's really starting to settle in and show more of who she is. I love seeing that confidence start to come through. In the next video, we'll build on this by starting her basic groundwork, working on leading with softness, introducing foot handling, and setting her up for the next stage of training. If you've been following along Rosa's journey, I'd love to know what moment stood out to you the most in this episode. Drop a comment below.